Hello, welcome pen friends. Welcome to my student pen report on the Pelikan Twist. I've been enjoying this pen for, well, this one here I've had for a month and a half that I've been writing with it steadily, and I love it. And then this one I got because I got a little bit anxious about wanting to have one with a converter in it and try a different ink at the same time because I wanted to move things forward. And, you know, just true confessions, the color was real pretty. So these are the two that I have. And in my 6+ years back in the fountain pen hobby, I hadn't been motivated to purchase one until I started this project. So that's something I keep in the back of my mind, like, I wonder why. I wonder what it was that I thought, because I can't remember now. Anyway, I'm having a lot of fun with them. They're the most unusual shape pen that I have in my fountain pen collection. But what we're going to do today, we're going to look at the pens real good, and then we're going to compare them with some of the other student pens and similar kind of classified pens. And then I'll show you some writing samples, and we're going to do a writing sample together on Rhodia. I think that that's a good middle of the line paper. So let's look at this pen. And it doesn't really look like a pen, although maybe I'm just, you know, to me, the moment I saw these, I thought they looked like mascara or some sort of makeup. But that just makes it really kind of cute and a novelty. I will say that when I first got this silver one, I had to use both hands to open it, but it has now loosened enough so I can uncap it with one hand. And I like that because I tend to do that. That's, you know, part of the appeal to me with a pen that isn't a screw to cap. You know, I kind of like being able to unpop it real quick with one hand. And I can do that now. This one is still a little tighter, but it's getting there because I've been writing with this one too. So it's got a twisted triangle shape, which is, you know, a lot of people have reviewed these. I'm really not thinking of this as a review. I'm reporting my findings, you know, what I feel about the pen and everything. But, you know, so it makes it unusual, quite unusual. Let's see the finial, if I could get the Pelican to be the right way. Woo! And maybe some focus for you. Has a little pelican on the finial. And then the bottom has a little triangle. These are made in Germany. And both of mine have medium nibs. And here's what they look like with the feed and everything. Let's see if we can get good lighting. Nice, smooth, medium nibs. And it has a very, I'm going to actually say forced triangle grip. It's quite drastic. We'll compare it with the Lamy Safari in a little bit. For me, this pen isn't uncomfortable, but I'm not using it for long journaling sessions. I'm using it for note-taking and for, like, well, letter writing, because I like to use all my 8 pens in my pen pal letters. Yeah, I've practiced before trying to just use one pen all the way through, and that doesn't often work for me. Every once in a while I'll do that, but anyway, I digress terribly often. Okay, so it's got that twisted triangle shape, and then it's got the grip. Let's see if I can show you. It's black. It doesn't feel too much different than the other material, although it's maybe just a little bit softer. It doesn't really feel rubber. I'll have to look that up, though. I'm not sure. On jet pens, it says that the nibs are not changeable. So, you know, you get the pen with the nib on it and take care of it, I guess. So the bottom, you know, is relatively flat. Depending on how you hold it, this may not be a comfortable pen for you. It's not the most comfortable pen I have, but I enjoy it. I like writing with them. So trying to see if it has the Pelican branding right here with the little tiny logo, and it says Pelican. And these are available in a whole bunch of colors, so they're quite a bit of fun. This is the same, except it's the girly rose color, and it still has that medium nib. Let me show you the packaging before we get too far along here. They each came in a different type of packaging. Oh dear, looks like Coco's been sitting in the packaging drawer box. The silver one came in a little box like this that had an annoying little label over it. I got them both from Amazon. You know, I probably should apologize for that, but the price is just so drastically better there. And then this is the packaging for the Girly Rose one. Let's see. It's like a, I guess they call it a blister pack. And they each came with a cartridge. This one I think came with 2 little cartridges, but I tore into it so quickly and didn't leave anything in there. I do believe it came with 2 cartridges. But how I'm using them is that this one has the long cartridge in it, the silver one. And it's I've used it about half, or well, maybe a little more than half. Ink is about right there. So this is a really handy, convenient cartridge because it holds a lot of ink. You know, it's good. And then this one, I had bought 5 Pelican converters, and so I'm using one of them in here. And I'm using it with a Pilot ink, because that's what I really wanted. But I didn't want to clean the silver one out. I just was having so much fun with it. I didn't want to, I guess I could have capped it, but I'm using all my little caps because of that reason, you know, that I got from Great Fountain, Italy. So that's the packaging. Let's go ahead and compare these with some other pens because they sure do stand out. They're different than the others. And I have a kind of a little tray here for you. Well, it's a chopped up tray, but it's got some of the ones. These are the 3 that I've already reviewed. This is the Schneider Ray, and this is the Pelicano, and this is the Online Air. So I did this one in December, then this is January, February. I say reviews, reports. I've done reports on these. Let's go ahead and put the Pelikan Twist right in the middle there. And we could compare them this way, but I think we need to definitely slow down and do a little grip comparison on this. This is the Pelicano Junior and the Lamy Safari. I think the Lamy Safari is the one I most want to compare the grips with, so we're going to do that. And then the Pilot Kakuno, which I'm really loving, and it's going to be part of this pen project because I think it does fall in that category. And there's been a lot of discoveries I've been making. Whoops. And then this is the Online Ergonomic Campus. It's got a long name with the fluffy cats. So, and I'm trying to think, are we actually looking at a full lineup of, okay, this is the only pen not made in Germany. So all the rest of these are all made in Germany. And I think this is made in Japan, if I'm not mistaken, the Pilot. So this is just surface comparison of what they look like. But let's go ahead and compare the Twist with the Lamy Safari to start with, since this is one that people are very familiar with the fact that it has a suggested somewhat, you know, I hate to use the word forced, but I guess it is a kind of a grip that you can't really get away from. I mean, how would you, right? So if you don't like this, then it's possible you wouldn't like this, because although this feels to me wider, and I do have, let's see, the number that came up was 14.2 through 18 millimeter grip size, so I guess it's smaller when you're down further, and then maybe wider up higher. Okay, we had a little, you know, disturbance at the door, but nothing, no problem. So I just want to say that I think I have a very wide range of grips that I can get along with. I really do. The only ones that really bother me are if it's a metal pen with a really, really small grip diameter and it's cold, because I can actually get along with it, but if it's cold, then it's always this finger that suffers, and I don't like it. I don't mind so much the, you know, the pads of my fingers being on a cold metal grip, but with these contoured grips, I seem to be able to get along with any of them, and yet I like the non-suggested grip pens just as much. So I have not been uncomfortable with the Pelikan Twist. Just a few times if I saw that my finger moved and I was death gripping against the edge of this, but it's not sharp. It's nicely contoured and everything, but I did notice that I could get into an uncomfortable position with it by accident. And I don't really see the Lamy Safari is definitely comfortable for me. So let's try another one. Okay, so the Pelicano Junior, which I have not done a pen report on yet, but it is my March, one of my March pens that I'm testing out. It has a rubberized grip with a suggested, you know, grip, triangular grip, really, but it's real gently suggested with these little indentations in the rubber, and that's super comfortable. I mean, that I could actually say that is super comfortable for a pen in this league. You could sit around and take notes on a book all day with it, I think. I'm not sure I'd want to do it with this because I keep slipping, or I keep death gripping somehow, and I end up, you know, creating a little indentation on my middle finger. But this may be too much information. I don't know. You almost have to try these out for yourself, and if you already know you have kind of a grip, you know, if you have something against that triangular grip, it would be something to maybe try out a friend's pen. Let's see, remember the Schneider Ray. The Schneider Ray had hardly any forcedness to it. It was almost rounded, so that's a super comfortable grip as well. I found that to be just really comfortable. And you know, these don't put down quite as much ink. The Schneider Ray has a medium plus nib that puts down like a broad line width, and this definitely puts down a medium width, but it's in a way an advantage to you that it doesn't put as much ink down because you can get away with other papers. So it's been a really nice experience. I think it's a good time to move to the paper. That's what I think. Okay. So let's start over here. Last time I really could have kicked myself because I forgot about my Midori notebook, but I didn't forget this time. This is supposed to be the master log, at least a little log for each pen, so I got to make sure I remember to get in here. So it wrote really nice on this Midori paper. I really enjoyed the experience, and it looks nice. And I felt that both seem equally flowy. I've got the Pilot Iroshizuku Setsuji, the pink ink, in the pink one. Here it is. I'm going to lose things if they're not attached. So in the pink one, and then the cartridge, of course, in the silver one. And I did pay $15.50 for the silver one and $17.54 for the Girly Rose one. So I felt like I got a good deal on those. And they're smooth and reliable. That's what I could say about it. No ghosting, no bleeding, no feathering. Midori paper is wonderful. But I felt like it was a real nice, smooth experience on here. And in the Tomoe River as well. We might as well look in there. Yeah, I did both of them in here. Let's see. I think we have to get a little bit closer. Okay, so I just did, you know, the standard, just an entry so I could see what it looked like and how it behaved. And I did some smearing so I could see. And they're almost equally. The Pelican cartridge that comes with this was almost equal to the Pilot ink, which I was surprised. I really thought I was going to be telling you, oh, the Pilot ink is much better in it. But no, the Pelican ink that comes in those cartridges is wonderful. So if you're somebody who likes cartridges, you could just keep on going with cartridges, or you could refill them. You could purchase the packages. There's a lot of options with this. And JetPen says you can eyedropper these. And I think, I mean, they must be right. They've got people that study these pens. And I mean, the threads are wide, so I'm sure there has to be some modification. Definitely some grease, and I don't know whether they suggest a little plumbing part or whatever they call those things. Can't think of the word right now. That's terrible. But definitely real good on here. And I don't even see ghosting. Whoops. You see? So very nice. Let's get into the cheaper papers now. We've got Pen and Gear, and we've got CVS Caliber. On the Pen and Gear, these pens did great. This is the Walmart Pen and Gear. It was 99 cents. And there's no bleeding, no feathering. Very nice. And it felt smooth. That was not the case on the CVS caliber. Boo-hoo, I felt bad about that. You're really better off with the Schneider Ray if you're really into the CVS caliber. Like I am, but I have other options too. So I felt like, yes, you can write on this. And it wasn't dragging real badly, but I couldn't get a really smooth scribble. And we'll see how it goes on the Rhodia. Maybe it'll prove to be similar, but I don't think so. CVS caliber tends to be, you know, a little bit more challenging for some of these pens that don't have fire hose, you know, ink output. Let's put it that way. So, but I was pleased. I was really pleased that the Pen and Gear paper went along with it so well. And I just said, not the best match for paper nib ink. Yeah, neither one, really. So, there we have it. Okay, let's get into the Rhodia. I haven't done it yet, so we'll do it together. This is Rhodia 80 GSM Grid. Let's see. Yeah, it's the 80. Somewhere it tells me. Huh. Oh yeah, 80G right there, real small. Okay, so let's see. Just make sure you can see. Hopefully. So we've got Pelican. Oh, this feels good. Okay, this is a good surprise. I was worried. Pelikan Twist. Oh, gee, this feels better than the Midori. Silver. Medium. Oh my, this teaches me something because I've had kind of a bad relationship with Rhodia paper, but and we've got a cartridge. Oh my. Learning right in front of the audience. That's okay. The quick round fox. Jumps over the lazy dog. Oh my, I can definitely confidently say that if Rhodia is your paper, you'll be really pleased with this on here. It feels super smooth. Let's try that scribble thing. Okay, it's going much better than it did on the CVS caliber. I can see, you know, I'm maybe not putting a lot of pressure down. Like if you put even the little pressure, maybe I'm not being fair to it. I'm treating it like as if it was a broad nib. But that's really good. I've made a mess. But it's a smooth experience. I really like it. Okay, let's try the other one with the Pilot ink. So this is the Girly I want to say Girly Girl. Girly Rose. Okay, Pelikan Twist. Girly Rose. Medium. With Pilot. I never can spell this ink. And I've written it out. T-S-U-T-S-U-G-I. Okay, it's my favorite pink. Whoops, I'm not doing it standardly there. Okay. Brown. Again, very smooth, but sorry for the interruption, but I feel like that Pelican ink in that feels smoother. Wasn't that strange? Is that just me? I mean, there's nothing wrong with the Pilot ink either, but I can even hear a little slight more feedback. Okay, let's try it with this one. Yeah, it's probably slight. It's more what you can feel. I feel like this is the winner on the Rhodia, the cartridge. Isn't that interesting? Okay, so we've learned something, I guess. Okay, so there's a whole lot more to say, and I've got a messy paper here. I'll bring it over because a lot of times I forget things. So you can use a cartridge or a converter in these, and you can eyedropper it according to jet pens, and they have a lot of education on their website, so I trust what they're telling us on that. Plastic is the material. tons of different colors. So I've got some measurements here. Length capped, 140 millimeters, 14 centimeters, or 5.5 inches long. And then unposted, 128 millimeters, 5 1/16. Those are my measurements on the end there because I just did it with a ruler. And then the grip diameter, I had to go to jet pens for that because I wasn't really able to do it with my calipers very well. And it's 14.2 to 18.1, depending on where you grip it. So that's interesting. And then I got different weights. Let's see. But that's because I have a converter in this one and a cartridge in this one. So I got 22.2 grams with the converter and the ink in it, with it capped. And then I got 18.5 with this one without the cap. And then over here on the silver one, I got 20.8 with the cartridge with ink in it, and 17.2 without the cap. That's grams. So, you know, it's a lightweight pen to my way of thinking, and it's quite nice. Yeah, I was putting price range approximately 20. Really nice to find it under that here in the United States, and you just have to shop, you know, kind of keep your eye on it. Very widely available. Medium nibs, triangle molded shape. I think we went over just about everything. Let's see. And then, okay, so I'll tell you what I like. I like the fact that it has a really smooth nib. It's unique and fun. Affordable. Many colors are available. And there's more things I like too. I guess I didn't completely fill this in. I like the fact that I'm not going to worry about this pen. I will say that I kind of tested out some, you know, cases to make sure because it feels chunky. And I did find that on your standard medium rickshaw sleeve, this just barely goes in there. It quite fills it up. It does go in, but that was kind of surprising. And then it fits really good in the standard Knox Sinclair, the you know, the old one. And then it also does really well in the rickshaw Sinclair R. Let's see, there's a little, the portion for the, you know, that's sized. So they're not crazy size or anything. They'll fit right in there. Let's see about this one. This is a 2-pen koozie. Yeah, and they're going to go in there real tight, but they go in, so that's nice. And that matters to me. It does, because I don't hardly take any pen anywhere without protecting it. So, but these look like you could just throw them in. Like, I don't feel bad with my littler case that I kind of carry around with me. I don't feel bad about putting them in there. I don't feel they're going to get scratched up. They're hardy, you know, so that's nice. Okay, then on the other side where, now some of these where I put a con, it might not be something that bothers me, but it's something to look for that could bother someone. So the cap was tight when I got it, and then after using for a while, it got better. Now I can open with one hand, like I said. The triangle grip can feel odd. Yeah, my middle finger, you know, gets disturbed depending on how much I move around and where I end up on it. I just have to be more intentional though, and that's a good thing anyway. This is a weird thing I wrote down, and then I almost obliterated it. But no, I wondered if maybe these might appeal more to girls in terms of children. But then I thought, that's crazy. You know, I grew up a tomboy that liked to play with jackknives and trucks and cars and stuff. So why am I bringing gender into it? But I'm not. I'm just saying, I don't know. Of course, there's all the different colors. And why would I think that a boy wouldn't like it? Maybe it's me. I look at it and I see makeup or something. I don't know. Anyway, that's, you know, let's smooth that out and make sure people feel okay with whatever they like. Can't replace the nib. Okay, so that is a, you know, that's a case with a lot of these. And sometimes they don't come out and tell you that. I like it when they tell you. But I'll tell you the one I really like where you can is the Kakuno, because this is not the one. There's another one here. I've got exactly two of these, two of the same finish. And I took out the nib from a Pilot Metropolitan that's a CM, cursive medium. It's like a little stub. And put it in this, and I've been so happy. It's like I could just walk away with this pen. So happy. So that is a thing for me. I have always felt that when you could replace the nibs, a pen was really great. Like the Lamies, you know, you can just make your pen go miles and miles, because after a while we end up with several different nibs, and it's really fun. Okay, I think it's time to move over to the face-to-face, and I'll talk to you there, and we'll wrap this up. So what do you think? Do you have a Pelikan Twist, and are there any points that I missed? I'd like to hear about it in the comments. I've been having a lot of fun with these pens, and I'm also having a lot of trouble with the face-to-face video aspect with my new camera. I'm trying really hard to look in the right place, but in order to kind of see, you know, what I'm doing, I don't see it. I can only look in one place. So bear with me, and I'll try harder to look at you instead of me, but it is not easy. So anyway, I think it just will require practice. There was something about where I sat before that made it just easier. I was sort of faced where the camera lens was, just sort of accidentally, and maybe it wasn't much better then. I don't know. Anyway, this pen is a pen that I will keep these pens really, and I think they make excellent gifts. Stocking stuffers, beginners, as long as the child can open it, I think it would be good for them. I can't imagine. It's hardily built. The nibs are, you know, they look hardy, just like the other Pelikan pens. I can't imagine there'd be any problem if they, you know, tumbled around a little bit. And so I think they would make really good student pens. I wonder, you know, if it's a 4 or 5 year old, that the beginning part of it where it's really tight might be a problem, or maybe not. Maybe, you know, I'm almost 60, so it could just be me, you know. But gosh, what's not to love? It comes in so many different colors. I don't sell these, by the way, and I've purchased these with channel money and everything. So, but it's got a smooth nib, and it's fun, and I feel really sad for anyone who doesn't get along with the grip, because I understand that. I've got a couple pens in my collection where they're just so narrow, and one little Le Bon pocket pen that I just love it to death, but the grip is so tiny that it just doesn't really work, and yet the pen is beautiful, and I try to just sort of use it for jotting. You know how you want to, if you want to write on a grocery list, you can have more tolerance for not, for a pen not being perfect for your grip, you know, but you don't want too many of those, because if you're like me, you just want to write. You know, you've got so many things to write. I'm taking notes on books, I'm writing letters, you know, and journaling every day. And it's nice to just whichever pen is closest and have them all in my little rickshaw and write with all of them, and not feel like, oh, this one isn't, you know, doesn't have a comfortable grip. But I'll let you go now, but I'd love to meet in the comments, because I'm interested in your experience with these pens as well. And I kind of always, as soon as I press, you know, upload or whatever, I think of 16 more things that I probably could have talked about. But this is my pen report, so this is the, you know, what I think of it. And I feel like these can stay inked up. I mean, this one's been a month and a half, no problems, the silver one. And then, of course, with this Pilot ink, I anticipate no trouble with that either. So, adds a lot of fun to my pen. Pen, what was the word I was looking for? 12 p.m. Wow. I'm always looking for the right word. A lot of fun to my pen collection, so, and my writing, because yeah, I am a collector too. I'm not. I'm a writer. I write all the time, so it kind of makes sense that I want, you know, all kinds of pens around me. Okay, it just is harder for me to stare at where I'm supposed to look at. But I'm trying really hard, and so let me know if I did a little bit better. And I'll talk to you later. Bye for now.